Arsenal had a meeting with the agents of Eberechi over the weekend. I can tell you that the meeting was an important meeting because Arsenal wanted to start discussing with the player side about eventual conditions of the deal to sign Eberechi. So Arsenal have all the information on the release clause of the player. They have all the information on the installments, all the information from player side now also in terms of salary, in terms of transfer request from the player, in terms of commission, the whole package of Eberechi deal. Arsenal are now informed. So the contact took place over the weekend, as revealed this morning. It was quite a positive one, so the player is not closed to a move to Arsenal at all. From what I'm hearing, the player would be open to joining Arsenal. Don't forget that Arsenal are working on several signings, including a new centre-back with the Christian Mosquera deal absolutely ongoing. So Arsenal are busy with several things, but among these things, from today, we have to add Eberechi Eze, because a contact took place with the agent. It was quite a positive one, and also Tottenham remain interested in the player, but Arsenal are pushing. Arsenal are now working quite strong on this one. Let's see if they decide to proceed, okay, with the release clause, with Crystal Palace, with the player. But now Arsenal made an important move, and so we have to add Eberechi Eze among the targets for Arsenal in this summer transfer window.
With you, if I was a Brentford fan, I'd be a little bit worried about this exodus. And Mbeumo might go, Norgaard probably going. When's this move to Arsenal going to be finalised?
I think Brentford are quite relaxed about the situation, but I think from the outside it does feel like there's a lot of instability there. A rookie Premier League manager coming in. They're now about to lose a key leader, their captain of the last 2 years, Christian Norgaard. What a servant he has been to Brentford over the course of the last 6 seasons. He is expected to have a medical with Arsenal early this week after Arsenal agreed a deal worth up to £15 million for him in this transfer window. Norgaard is set to arrive to replace Thomas Partey and Jorginho. Martin Zubimendi set to be confirmed as well. So Arsenal acting very swiftly in this transfer window. They're set to sign Kepa Arrizabalaga as well. Zubimendi, that will be confirmed any day.
Thomas Partey. We know that Christian Norgaard is on his way to Arsenal. What's the story with Partey then?
Well, it's a strange one because arguably he had his best season in an Arsenal shirt last year. He played in 35 Premier League matches, only missed 3 of them. And these talks were ongoing for a long period of time. There was interest from Saudi Arabia as well and from European clubs. And there was an offer on the table, but Arsenal couldn't agree terms with Thomas Partey. I think perhaps he feels he could get more favourable terms elsewhere. But one thing you can say, Arsenal have acted very swiftly to resolve the midfield situation. Thomas Partey will have plenty of options this summer.
OK.
Them basically, none more so than their captain, Christian Norgaard. What's happening there? Is he going to Arsenal?
And it was really nice to hear Phil Giles talk about being really happy for Christian Norgaard to get this opportunity to complete a move to Arsenal. 6 years of service, 2 years as captain as well. He's been a real leader for Brentford over the course of the last few years, because Brentford haven't just survived in the Premier League, they've thrived. They've been such an addition to the top flight over the course of the last 4 seasons. And he's expected to have a medical with Arsenal early this week. There's a deal in place worth up to £15 million, so £10 million up front. It'll be worth up to £15 million if all the add-ons are completed. And he's set to arrive as a replacement for Thomas Partey, whose contract expires today at Arsenal. Yeah,
which is something we were anticipating, isn't it? So where does their midfield stand then? Is that the rebuild almost done?
It's almost complete. Martin Zubimendi will be confirmed as an Arsenal player as early as this week. Arsenal triggered that £51 million release clause in his contract at Real Sociedad. There's an agreement in place when it comes to a long-term contract. So you'll be in a situation where Christian Norgaard and Martin Zubimendi, 99.9% chance that they'll be travelling with the squad to head to Singapore and Hong Kong for the club's pre-season tour. And what will be interesting is you'll have Christian Norgaard in an Arsenal shirt coming up against Thomas Frank, who will be managing Tottenham. Things move so quickly in football. And Arsenal move quickly in terms of their rebuild as well, because Jorginho out of contract this summer, Thomas Partey out of contract. Those 2 players very quickly being replaced by Christian Norgaard and Martin Zubimendi.
So where else do they need to strengthen, or where do they want to strengthen, should we say, Arsenal?
Well, they're remaining talks with Valencia around the signing of the centre-back, Christian Mosquera, but clearly the main priority in this transfer window will be signing a striker. We know they're looking for a new winger and a striker. In terms of winger, we spoke last Friday about Eberechi being a player of real interest. He's of interest to so many clubs in the Premier League and in the Champions League because he is such an incredible player. He has a release clause in his contract, £60 million release clause, which you think is a really good deal if a club wants to get that done this summer. And they've explored the conditions of that deal. And also, Rodrigo at Real Madrid is a player of real interest as well when it comes to wide players. I think they're really happy with what they've got in terms of the wide options, but I think when you look at Gabriel Martinelli's output over the course of the last 2 years, it's not been as good as it was in the previous season before that. So I think they just want to improve in every single area of the pitch. And when it comes to striker, there's still no indication as to who is their front runner, who is the main target. But I think we can safely say it's down to two in the form of Benjamin Sesko and Victor Gyökeres. So there is players there of interest to Arsenal. Initial talks have taken place. But I think now they've sorted out the issue with midfield. They've got that second-choice goalkeeper in place. Kepa could be announced any day now. Midfield's in place. Now it's about getting these attacking players that can score them the goals to win that Premier League title at last.
Arsenal have explored the possibility of making a move to sign England and Crystal Palace attacking midfielder Eberechi this summer. Arsenal are aware that could be available in this transfer window, with the 27-year-old having a release clause of £60 million in his contract. Mikel Arteta wants to strengthen his front line before next season, and Arsenal have been exploring the conditions of various deals for attackers across Europe. A new centre-forward is the main priority, with no resolution yet on the twin pursuits of RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko and Sporting's Victor Gyökeres among other candidates, but Arsenal are also looking to strengthen in the wide areas. Is capable of playing as an attacking midfielder or as a left winger and was part of the Arsenal academy as a child before he was released at the age of 13. He has since said that the rejection by Arsenal left him crying in my room for a solid week. Has also been of interest to Tottenham Hotspur this summer, but, as revealed by Telegraph Sport, Spurs are now regarded as more likely to sign Mohamed Kudus from West Ham United. Andrea Berta, the Arsenal sporting director, is known to explore numerous potential deals for multiple targets at one time before then choosing which transfers to properly pursue. Arsenal are known to have strong interest in Rodrigo, the Real Madrid and Brazil winger, and could also make a move for Newcastle United's Anthony Gordon. The North London club are in the process of finalising the arrivals of midfielder Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad and goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga from Chelsea. Arsenal are also working on a deal for young Valencia defender Christian Mosquera, who could cost around £20 million, and are expected to be successful in their pursuit of Brentford captain Christian Norgaard. Norgaard would cost around £10 million if a deal can be agreed and the Denmark international passes the usual medical examinations. Phil Giles, the Brentford director of football, said on Monday, "We have been in conversations with Arsenal for the last week to 10 days. As it stands, it hasn't been completed yet, but it is heading in that direction. If that happens for him, then fantastic. Has earned it. Has been a brilliant captain for us. Let's see how that story ends, but we are pretty open about that interest there." Arsenal have held talks with representatives of Eberechi and could battle with Tottenham for the Crystal Palace forward. Mikel Arteta has identified as someone who could add creativity and depth to his squad after they finished as Premier League runners-up for a third successive season.